Hey, welcome back to Evil's Comics. I'm Evil Mike, and I have another review for you from Image Comics. This is Echolands, issue number 4. Written and art by J.H. Williams III, co-created by W. Haden Blackman, and then we got colors by Dave Stewart and letters by Todd, Klein. Um, I will show off some of the art at the end of this review. It is a sideways comic, and every panel, every page is breathtaking. For those of you who don't know, it is a different tale of kind of like Red Riding Hood, but her name is Hope in this story. She has a ragtag crew of displaced characters, one being like a black and white vampire, another a cyborg, another like a 70s comic book character with that weird print, and then like her best friend being like a medieval character. Hope and her crew have recently stolen a gem from an evil wizard that kind of controls this land, and now they are on the run. The evil wizard wanting that gem back. We don't know what the gem is, but he has sent his like most lethal assassin, it being his daughter, the wizard's daughter, and basically they are on the run at, from this like kind of living weapon or assassin that is the wizard's daughter. In the last issue, she had caught up with them. They were in this like pirate town, and they were getting help from this pirate leader who owns this pirate kind of island type of thing. And right as they were finally getting the help they needed, and they were getting on this machine that was taking them under the water on a rail type of system, the wizard's daughter had showed up and started fighting the pirate king and all his little minions and stuff. The last we saw, she released a magic spell calling it Armageddon, and it exploded kind of right where they were. We see in this issue that they didn't explode everything, that the pirate king, I think his name is Romulus, has withstood the blast and is still fighting the wizard's daughter. He states that he has all these powers from the Greek gods like Hercules and Achilles and all these different types. He even states that he wears the armor of like Hades, but even going up against the wizard's daughter, she calls herself different things like the indestructible weapon, the unbreakable curse, stuff like that. And eventually she does get to the point where she bests Romulus. He does put up a epic superhero type fight, but in the end she gets to the point where she's about to kill him, and like he had stated in previous issues, he's not about to let anybody kill him or take the island kind of thing. So he kind of hits a detonator, destroying the island. On the sea level below, they even hear the island and know that thousands of people just died because there was numerous regular people living in that pirate town. The Hope and her crew continue on their journey, and eventually they get to a spot where the ride stops. There's just a big mouth that looks like Poseidon or whatever, and as soon as the ride stops, the little bubble machine that they're in starts to get attacked from the outside. It's like crazy demon looking mermen or merwomen or something like that that start attacking their little shuttle, and as they are getting attacked, the little bubble that they're in on the shuttle, it starts to break and collapse, where they have to quickly swim towards anywhere. They know if they follow the rail, it'll eventually lead them to air, so they kind of have that plan before the whole shuttle breaks, and eventually they do. But as they're going through this, Hope explains again that she's about to explode. For some reason she can feel this magical overload, and she tries telling her friends to get away as quickly as possible, but everybody's so close and trying to get out of the shuttle, she kind of explodes with everybody there. The cyborg member, they all manage to float up, but the cyborg member of their crew ends up losing both of her arms in the blast, and the vampire that hasn't been a big fan of Hope the whole journey is kind of like big time hating on Hope because she kind of exploded the cyborg, but in the end it wasn't done on purpose or anything. It was something that Hope couldn't contain, and Core, her medieval friend, eventually asked to come to her aid, to kind of say, hey, it wasn't like she did it, and she did end up protecting us, because it does end up dissuading the demon people things to go away. Eventually they do, like, like I said, they had crashed up on land, and this is when they're doing all that arguing. But eventually they do follow where the rail was leading them. And we do meet, and I'm drawing a blank at his name. Evil Mike is bad with names. But he's been, at the very last page on all these comics, there's been like this kind of like a watcher type character that is kind of like reading, or like he looks like a magician with a crystal ball, and he kind of gives you hints about the next episode. Well, the way this looks like in this comic, that he is a full-fledged character, because they end up running into him where he's been talking to us from the comic, and basically he says that it's fate that brought them there. As soon as they get there, they explain that he explains that he knows all about their journey and everything that's happened, but there are some things that are kind of like different about what fate has shown him. And one is that they were supposed to have more members in their party. Two, and he couldn't see how badly wounded they were. He thought they would be a lot more wounded. But basically he does aid them, give them shelter, and he heals everybody, gives the new cyborg lady some arms. And basically he reveals that that he has an option to get away from the like wizard's daughter type of thing, because that's what they're trying to do at the present moment. And eventually he reveals like a click click, and the ceiling opens up, revealing a huge rocket ship, which he tells the group that they need to hurry up and get on. And that's where this book leaves off. At the very end there is a page again where it just looks like he's sitting in front of the crystal ball, and he talks to you in the fourth, past the fourth wall, or breaking the fourth wall. But he does tell you like some events on what's to come, that he is gonna be, among the group, that he is gonna be with them, kind of thing, and they are about to go to outer space, and that's where the book is kind of going. Okay, so I'll show you some of the art, and I'll let y'all go on y'all's way. Let's see if I can get this to focus in. Now, it is a sideways comic, so a lot of this kind of needs to be zoomed in to really it really reads really well digital. I own both the comic and the digital form, and it's a lot easier to read in digital format. It's very nice in physical format, but for some reason it just translates really well to the digital platform. I don't know if that was done on purpose, but since it is a sideways comic, it translates very well. My kitty has taken her spot. She wants to get her time in the limelight. I can show you this. This is the mystic fortune teller that has been at the back of the book, and I'm going to get there real quick. This is the picture of the rocket ship right there coming in from the ceiling, and that's how he looks at the end of every book. And if you read his little, passage that he tells you, he gives you hints on the upcoming book. I think it's excellently done. There's Kelly. I will leave you with her, watching her. She does not leave my side whatsoever. Alright, guys. Bye!